And we welcome you to Falcon Stadium on the campus of Cerritos College as tonight SportsNetUSA.net presents the Southern California Bowl. The Golden West Rustlers back in a bowl game for the first time since 2015, visiting the Falcons of Cerritos. And a great Saturday evening to you wherever you are. Rahshaun Haylock alongside Ryan Osborn. And Ryan, these Rustlers enter tonight needing to win out during the latter part of their season. They go down to San Diego on consecutive weeks and come back with 2 wins in order to make it here to a bowl game. And they got a huge matchup here against this Cerritos team that features the state's leading rusher in Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, and I mean, Rahshaun, you look at the last 2 games, specifically that one over at Southwestern, where you and I were talking about it. That was a huge matchup that Golden West had to come away with a victory. They were down late in that one. They fought out through that adversity, and yet still were able to do the exact same thing the very next week against Grossmont as they eke out that win against the Griffins. Now they're here in the postseason for the first time in 3 years, and I really think that tonight it's all going to rely on the hands of Bo Kalbacher.
Bo Kalbacher, kind of risky with the ball last week, a couple of turnovers, but he made enough plays, and this offense made enough plays, and it was thanks to Jose Arredondo, game-winning 33-yard field goal. Really the only points of the second half by either team last week that proved to be a difference in the 17-14 win at Grossmont. Rustlers run the toss, elected to defer. Kenny Fisher puts it on the tee. Boot meets ball, and we are underway here in the Southern California Bowl as Cerritos receives the kickoff. And the tackle was made there by Ryan Raines on special teams at about the 30-yard line. That kickoff returned there by Jovan Tucker for Cerritos. There is a flag on the field. Shane Smith is our white hat for this one. Going to be a chop block against Cerritos. So push them back a little bit, and they'll start their offense deeper in their own zone. Isaiah Bravo, you may remember him from last year, 6'3", 200-pound sophomore from West Covina. He and Quentin Davis were splitting time the last time these two teams played a season ago. But it's really been Bravo for the duration of the season this year for the Falcons under first-year head coach Dean Grossfeld. Bravo has one back, and that's Stevenson. And they give it to Stevenson, and he's hit immediately as he touches the ball there, and that's VJ Malo after a gain of 1.
You and I, Rahshaun, were able to see VJ Malo have that extra step last week against Grossmont. He was sniffing out rushes really quickly, getting into the backfield earlier than we normally saw throughout the first 8 weeks of the season.
Paca, along with Miminger, Ayava, and Malo on that front four for the Rustlers. Bravo out of the pistol on 2nd and 9 from the 19-yard line. They give it to Stevenson again, and he's wrapped up again and bottled up in the backfield. VJ Malo got there. Big Myron Ayava was there to greet him as well. Another pickup of about 2 brings up a 3rd down and 6 from the 21. David Aldapa and Wolf Retzlaff, the linebackers. Miles McCord and Coos Ford are the corners. Here's Bravo stepping up, throws it on the run behind his intended receiver. That was Gasser going over the middle, incomplete, and the Rustlers force a 3-and-out on their very first drive.
You said it last week, Rahshaun. Defense has really allowed for offensive momentum for this Golden West Rustler squad. Now let's see whether or not Golden West can capitalize on it. We saw them twice in the second half last week get big defensive stops, which eventually led to that 3-point field goal by Aaron Dondo.
Leonard Arts, who does the place kicking and punting duties for Cerritos, in to punt it. This one nearly blocked. They get into Arts. No flag, though. And this one going to take a nice Cerritos roll all the way inside the 20-yard line. It'll be down there at the 19. So you mentioned Bo Kalbacher. 2,136 yards on the season, 57% completion percentage, 18 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, averaging just over 210 yards per contest. Rustlers wearing their green uniforms for the third consecutive game. On the road here against Cerritos. It'll be Dante Swain getting the start in the backfield, who's behind Kalbacher. First play is a give to Swain, and Jordan Thomas wraps him up around the waist after a pickup of 1.
Last week, Swain and Valdez both kind of gave a different look for this Golden West offense. It seemed like they were able to go to both Valdez and Swain whenever they needed that extra first down yard or those extra first down yardage.
Second and 8 from the 20. Pressure coming. Kalbacher hit as he throws, delivers a dime to Shashi Penn. No, that's Ratzliff, but the ball is out. Ratzliff thinks he's down. Cerritos thinks they recovered a fumble. Ratzliff, they mark him down at the 33-yard line. So a 13-yard pickup from Kalbacher to Ratzliff. And a first down for the Rustlers. Kalbacher took a shot there. Adrian Montez, Jacob Beckler, Roman Neomata, Genesis Ofagalilo, and Spencer Blake, the front 5 up front for the Rustlers. Ratzliff at one of the wide receivers. Shashi Penn as well in the slot near side. Here's a pass thrown out to that far sideline, and Ben Ratzliff going to work here early. He gets it near midfield at the 47-yard line. A pickup of 14 and another Rustler first down.
Ratzliff was that second half guy last week. We also saw Braylon Mouton get into a groove early on. If Ratzliff and Mouton are both able to hook up with Bo Kalbacher in the early going here in this first quarter, we've seen Golden West go through them at the end of games like we did against Southwestern. It's all about that rhythm to start.
They put Penn in motion. First and 10 from the 47. The give goes right up the gut to Swain and inside of Cerritos territory at the 49-yard line. 4-yard pickup. Jonathan Earl, Anthony Trevino, and Shashi Penn, the other wide receivers for the Rustlers. We'll give you the Cerritos defense in just a moment. 2nd and 6 from the 49-yard line of Cerritos. 4 wide outs for Kalbacher. Payne behind him in the pistol, play fake, and Kalbacher throws that one well out of the reach of Jonathan Earl. 3rd down coming up for Cerritos on that front line. Jason Nettles, Penny Kalavi, Ike Ahumibe, and Jordan Thomas. He's a good one. You may remember him from last year. Latrell Stearns, Tyshawn Barnaby, the linebackers. Dior Denson, Robert Corner, the cornerbacks, and the safeties, Theron Linderos, Noah Peterson, and Noah Guzman. 3rd and 6 from the 49 for the Rustlers. Kalbacher with time. Comes near side, pass is caught, and that is Earl getting out, Penn, pardon me, I beg your pardon, getting out of bounds at the 37-yard line. 12 yards on the pickup, and another first down for the Rustlers. Their 3rd first down on this drive, all coming off the arm of Bo Kalbacher.
And that's something that started a few weeks back at that Saddleback game where the receivers, both Mouton and Penn and Ratzliff, all going to the 10-yard marker and immediately just stopping, allowing for Golden West to keep these drives going.
Kalbacher quickly in the slot. That's Penn. A nice little run after the catch inside the 25-yard line. Another first down for the Rustlers. Another pickup of 12 there. And Kalbacher is 4 for 4, 51 yards, smoking hot to start this one. 10:20 left in this first quarter. Rustlers on its first offense possession of the game. 1st and 10 from the Cerritos 25-yard line. They pitch it. Here's Maxwell. Maxwell runs into a sea of gray uniforms. Going to be taken down for a loss of 2 there.
Jason Nettles was in on the tackle there. You see Nettles go from left end all the way to the right-hand side. He's able to push away from the entire offensive line for Golden West, who just never were able to pick up anyone on that defensive front for Cerritos.
2nd and 12 from the 27. Swain back in there at a tailback. Kalbacher steps up, looking deep, end zone, incomplete. Earl was the intended wide receiver, and Denton was there on the coverage. 3rd down.
Incomplete pass, 3rd down and 12 for Golden West.
Talking to John Shipp, the offensive coordinator for these Rustlers prior to the game tonight, Ryan, and he said, no need to leave anything in the bag. It's the last game here tonight. He plans to empty that thing. And we saw that run there by Maxwell on 1st down, a little different than what we are accustomed to seeing from these Rustlers. Here's a 3rd down play. They set up the screen. Shashi Penn tries to get to the outside, but nowhere to go. Barnaby there on the stop for Cerritos. 2-yard gain and a 4th down coming up. 4th and 10 from the 25. And let's see if they send out the field goal unit. Looks like Kalbacher and the offense are stepping off, and so here's Jose Arredondo, the hero from last weekend. Had a 33-yard field goal to win it at Grossmont last Saturday. Trevino to hold. The left-footed kicker gets it up, and it's good. That one from 42 yards off the left leg of Jose Arredondo. And for Jose, that's his longest of the season.
He's now 5 of 6, Rahshaun.
Yes, he is, Ryan. And the Rustlers have a 3-0 lead here, 8:34 to play in this first quarter. As you're watching the Southern California Bowl right here on SportsNetUSA.net. And fans, don't forget, Golden West Rustler football right here on SportsNetUSA.net is brought to you in part by Miller Toyota of Anaheim, where service and parts is open for your convenience 7 days a week, located on the web at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Off the 91 and Euclid, Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and education. Rustlers strike first, and they lead it 3-0 here in the first quarter. Rahshaun, Haylock, Ryan Osborn here with you on a gorgeous November Saturday evening in the fine city of Cerritos. Here's Fisher with the pooch kick. It's going to be taken at a hop at the 15-yard line. And here's Tucker looking for some running room, and he gets around the edge. A couple of flags come in late as he gets out of bounds at the 45-yard line. I say Cerritos. We're actually in Norwalk, right? Norwalk's a fine city, too. I thought maybe a little bit partial to Cerritos. Who am I? Shane Smith with the flag.
It's all about those technicalities.
Technicalities. Big deal. It's the devil's in the details, Ryan. Another penalty against Cerritos on the kickoff return. So this one will move them back.
One person that has been detailed over the last 3 weeks, Rahshaun, Jose Arredondo. Are you getting the sense that this coaching staff with each passing week is getting more and more trust in that guy?
Absolutely. It's funny because that was some of the discussion this week. And obviously I wanted to know a little bit more about Jose after that big game-winning kick he had. A little trickery here as they give it to Parks on the end around, and he is hit hard. JP Justin Parker with a wallop against the Cerritos wide receiver. Parker, the Sam linebacker for this Golden West defense, and exchanged some messages with him last week. He wanted to clarify some things, and error on us, Ryan Osborn, really on me. He'd been mentioned, he'd been noted as a defensive back in the roster, but he says, look, I'm a linebacker. I've always been a linebacker. That's what I do. And a big hit there by JP. 2nd and 9. Bravo looking to throw and incomplete. He was looking for Parks there again, and 3rd down coming up.
CJ Parks. 3rd down and 9 to the 21.
The offensive line, Ernesto Ramirez, Adam Torville, Fidel Mendez. Justin Gonzalez moves from right tackle to right guard, and Austin Freeman in there at right tackle for the Falcons. Stevenson, of course, the tailback. CJ Parks, Jamal Tate, Jacob Gasser, Jovan Tucker, the wide receivers. Bravo with time, throws it low. And is there a catch there? Yes, it's made right at the sticks at the 30-yard line. That's Tucker, the St. John Bosco grad. And it's going to be enough for a 1st down. First completion of the night for Bravo. And first down given up by this Rustler defense. 1st and 10. Cerritos from their own 31-yard line. They give it to Stevenson. And Coos Ford coming up there and making the tackle from his cornerback spot, trying to get a hold of that football. If there is one flaw on Ramondre Stevenson, it's that he's been known to cough it up a little bit. He's got 4 fumbles on the year, 3 of them lost. The Rustlers, of course, will be trying to take advantage of that. Something in the air, Ryan. It's Norwalk. What can I say?
Might be those allergies.
Might be. They say it's allergy season. 6.5 to play here, 1st quarter. They send Tate in motion. Bravo with time, steps up, going to tuck it and run. Jose Bravo slides and takes out his own man, Jacob Gasser, at the 44-yard line. But they actually mark him shy of that. They mark him at the 42. Still enough for a 1st down, however.
No, but Rahshaun, you go back to Stevenson, and I mean, this is a guy who is averaging around 188 yards a game in these last 10. 191 for 1881, averaging 9.8 yards per carry. When you can have a running back who gets you at minimum a 1st down every time he touches the ball, that is special.
It is very special. They try to go back to that ground game, but this Rustler defense unrelenting. That's Steven Cruz making the stop there for a loss. That was not Stevenson. That was Odom getting the carry.
2nd down and 10 for Cerritos.
It was Carl Odom, the backup running back, also effective in the passing game for Cerritos this season. A freshman out of West Jordan, Utah. Stevenson, after a quick breather, is back in there on 2nd and 11. Bravo out of the gun, throws it high for Parks, catches it, but is hit immediately by Coos Ford after a pickup of 4 to the 46-yard line. Parks, the Mater Dei alum.
36 for Cerritos in the 46.
His dad, Cliff, one of the wide receiver coaches here for Cerritos. Parks wearing uniform number 5 in gray for the Falcons here tonight. 3rd down and 6 from the 46. Bravo out of the gun. Stepping up, buying time. Bravo still buying time. Escapes one man and runs, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, but that's it. Nice pursuit there on that far sideline. Kramer coming up from his safety spot and forcing the Cerritos quarterback out of bounds. And Bravo is up, but someone is down after the play right in front of the Rustler bench. Can't quite see who it is from here. Big crowd on the Rustler sideline. Nonetheless, 4th down coming up, and the punting unit will come on. They give Bravo a gain of 1. Still not sure who that was who was slow to get up for the Rustlers. This one nearly blocked. Atencio, did he touch it? I think he touched it. And it's recovered by Cerritos.
And we saw something almost similar from David Atencio all the way back in week 2 there, Rahshaun, because you look at Atencio, week 2, he ends up short-arming that football in the second quarter. Well, now, or excuse me, in the fourth quarter, well, now he ends up seeing this one going past him, but it takes a funny hop. And like a goaltender in hockey, he allowed that ball to end up short-hopping him. And so he tries to react in time, and by the time he does, it goes off his left hand into the floor.
1st and goal from the 9. Stevenson with the carry. Stevenson into the end zone. Touchdown, Cerritos. Cerritos gets on the board for the first time tonight, and they take a 6-3 lead with the point after attempt to come. They line up as if they're going to go for 2, not seeing any advantage. They will attempt the point after. And this is Arts for the PAT. This one blocked. Blocked by the Rustlers. This is the 4th block kick for Golden West in the last 3 games now, Ryan.
And you're seeing these jumps, Rahshaun. I mean, Golden West is just on special teams. They're anticipating snap counts. They're getting into the backfield as early as possible. But you also look at the way that they're blocking these kicks. Specifically on these extra points and field goals, they're getting as flat as they possibly can to the football, making sure that they're not going to commit a penalty with their bodies after making contact, but yet also making enough of a blockage to make sure that football doesn't go forward.
Defense and special teams has really been a calling card for the Rustlers over these past couple of weeks that have helped them get to this spot. We've seen the good and the bad of special teams so far here tonight, Ryan Osborn. Atencio muffing that punt. We've seen that earlier this season, and you say at this point of the season you're no longer a freshman, right? It appears as that takes away the whole freshman mistake thing. Sometimes guys just want to try to make a play. But if you're Atencio, better off just leaving that ball alone. And we've seen him struggle with that a little bit earlier this year. This one has come back to cost the Rustlers as they allow 6 points off the turnover. Arts will put it on the tee and puts a leg into this one. Taken at the 1, it's Tavon Valdez coming near side, and Valdez, a flag comes in as Valdez gets it all the way up to the 40-yard line. But this one may be coming back. It's the 3rd flag we've seen in as many kickoff returns here in this game this evening. And this one going to go against the Rustlers. A legal block in the back, says Shane Smith, our white hat. And so, spot a foul penalty. Will push the Rustlers back. So they'll be starting this one deep into their own zone. This one half the distance to the goal line. So it'll be 1st down and 10 Rustlers to start this drive from their own 7. 3:52 left in the first quarter. Cerritos 6, Golden West 3. Rahshaun Haylock, Ryan Osborn here with you for the Southern California Bowl. Braylon Mouton checks in at a wide receiver. Play fake, and Kalbacher delivers in the slot to Shashi Penn, who makes the catch and hit immediately there by Noah Peterson. 5-yard pickup brings up a 2nd down and 5. Penn, his 4th catch of the night. He's been the guy so far this evening. Last week, remember, it was Atencio. Atencio had a career-high 10 catches, 103 yards last week at Grossmont, as Kalbacher just kept finding them. Tonight, he's finding number 16, Shashi Penn. Here's Kalbacher delivering it to Atencio. That goes off his heel. Coverage on the play there by Noah Guzman, the freshman out of Bishop Amat. And 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 5 for the Rustlers from the 12. Neither one of these teams in a hurry offensively, Ryan.
And I think that's kind of the mindset that Golden West has had all season long. We started off the beginning of the year thinking, okay, well, maybe they want to go more methodical against Fullerton College. No, that's just the character of their offense.
Kalbacher rolling, throwing, and Atencio is thrown slightly behind him. Unable to haul that one in, and a 4th down coming up. Rustlers will be punting for the first time tonight.
And you know that David's got to be kicking himself because he had that ball go off his hands, and it turns out to be a turnover. Then he has the other one go off his hand, then his heel, and now this one is just a layup that lands directly in both mitts, but goes to the floor.
A little tough to handle there for David. Here's Fisher. And this takes a nice Rustler bounce and rolls across the 35, and it'll be down at the 34-yard line. Rustlers entered tonight 6-4, 3-2. They finished 3rd in the Southern Conference. It's the Cerritos team that finished 6-4, 3-2 in their conference as well, as they finished 2nd in the Central Conference. They had a conference title game here a week ago against El Camino, but dropped that one to the Warriors to finish 2nd. Both these teams benefiting from an extra win due to forfeitures by Fullerton College earlier in the year. It's kind of similar paths, similar roads to get here for these squads.
Did you feel a chill in the press box all of a sudden, Rahshaun?
A little bit. Sound more like a beehive. A swarm of bees, maybe, as C.J. Parks makes the catch. Pushed out of bounds by Coos Ford, a pickup of 2 at the 36-yard line. Dean Grossfeld in his first year as the head coach here for Cerritos, 25th year in the program. He's a longtime offensive coordinator under Frank Mazzota, who stepped down after 40 years on the job. Bravo on 2nd down. They try to set up a little middle screen, and that one incomplete, in and out of the hands of the tight end, Daryl Cloy. 3rd down coming up. Grossfeld played here also under Mazzota. Actually holds the school record for most pass yards in a game through 388 against Mount Sac in 1991. So he's a Falcon through and through. Third and 8. Bravo. All kinds of time. Finds Stevenson in the backfield. Makes one miss. Rustlers try to get to him. They can, and there's that speed burst. Ramondre Stevenson sidesteps another and is down and out at the 30-yard line. What a play there by Stevenson.
We're seeing a lot of stuff that is really reminiscent of that San Diego Mesa game, Rahshaun. When we left San Diego Mesa and we're driving back home, the biggest story that you and I were talking about is missed tackles and muff punts, because there were a couple of them in terms of punts, but missed tackles really plagued Golden West through the first 3 weeks of the season. all of a sudden they were able to tune that up. But here this afternoon, and specifically on that one, they already have 10 missed tackles, 6 on that last play.
34 yards on the pickup. 1st and 10 from the Rustler 30. Bravo, all kinds of time, looking over the middle, caught back of the end zone, touchdown Cerritos. Javon Tucker, the former Bosco Brave, gives the Falcons a 12-3 lead. Falcons line up for 2. They pitch it. Another pitch. It's the Falcons special. Bravo catches it in the end zone. Cerritos' version of the Philly special here in the Southern California Bowl. The 2-point conversion is good. And it's 14-3 Cerritos. 1:11 to play here in the third. Cerritos special? Falcon special? You got any names for me, Ryan?
I like Cerritos special.
All right, we'll go with it.
The Falcon flip.
Oh, look at you getting all creative. Check you out. So all of a sudden, Rustlers find themselves in an uphill climb here against this Cerritos Falcons team. And it's a team that could put up a whole lot of points and a whole lot of yards, Ryan. They led their league, the Central League, in basically 3 of the 4 top offensive categories. Points per game, yards per game, and also rush yards per game. They finished dead last in pass yards per game, but bravo to Tucker there, looked good for 6, and they lead this one now 14-3. As Valdez will take this one from his own 5. Valdez with a seam, tries to spin out of a tackle, but is down at the 26-yard line. For Isaiah Bravo, that's touchdown pass number 20 on the year. For Tucker, his 7th touchdown reception. That actually leads this team. And the Rustlers will have it 1st and 10 from their own 26 with 1:04 to play here in this first quarter, trailing 14-3. You got a muff punt, and you got missed tackles on 3rd down, which has contributed to this deficit here for the Rustlers. Valdez stays in there at tailback. He gets the carry, goes up the gut, and picks up 2.
Valdez with the carry for Golden West.
Second down and 8 for the Rustlers from their own 28. Mouton splits out wide to the bottom of your screen. Shashi Penn right next to him in the slot. 7 seconds left on the play clock for Kalbacher. Takes the snap and quickly looks for Penn. Incomplete, though, as the defense was all over him. There was Barnaby there on the coverage. The linebacker, the sophomore out of Las Vegas for Cerritos. 3rd and 8 coming up, 17 seconds left in this quarter. And the Rustlers have to get off a play here, considering the clock stopped because of that incompletion. Third and 8 from the Rustler 28. Kalbacher tries to go to the far side, has his man, it's caught. And getting out of bounds, rather pushed out of bounds over there, is Ratzliff at the 38-yard line. So that's a pickup there of 10. And I beg your pardon, no, that's not Ratzliff. It's Jeremiah right there making that grab. So how about that? Jeremiah picking up the reception. His 7th of the year for the freshman out of Vancouver, Washington. And that takes us to the end of the first quarter. So after 1, it's Cerritos 14, Golden West 3, as you're watching Golden West Rustlers football right here on SportsNetUSA.net. Rahshaun Haylock alongside Ryan Osborn with you. And mistakes have been costly here for the Rustlers in the early going here, Ryan.
And it's those mental mistakes that you and I didn't have to mention since, before the Riverside game? I mean, Golden West, other than their snaps, has really tuned back those unforced errors, we'll call them, in which you look at David Atencio, that ball goes off his hands, and then he also has a couple of drops. You look at the blown coverage, that went right up the middle. Golden West just doesn't look like they have not necessarily their head in the game, but they just don't look sharp tonight. And especially not the way that we've seen them over the last 3 weeks.
Hey, Coach Mitchell talking about preparing for this Cerritos team offensively. We mentioned earlier that this team has finished last in its league in passing yards per game, but they are a fade team. They throw a lot of fades. That was a fade caught by Tucker in the end zone, and he likened it to Saddleback earlier this year and the issues that his defense had against Saddleback guarding the fades. That's something they're going to have to do tonight defensively. Also going to have to tackle. He mentioned that as well as Kalbacher takes a low snap, hands it off to Tavon, and Tavon is 8 up in the backfield. A big loss there for Valdez. Loses 5 on the play. 2nd down and 15 coming up.
Tavon ends up running into his own guy who was blocking on the outside. That was Colby Clayton, who is setting up that block just outside the right hash mark, and yet he ends up going directly into the defender.
2nd 14 to the 34.
Valdez got going last week. He was just shy of 100 yards on the ground. Rustlers actually ran the ball pretty well last week down in San Diego. 2nd and 15 from the 34. They set up a screen. Valdez with the catch, and he slips at the 35-yard line. Falls forward to the 36. So he picks up just 2 there. And a 3rd and 13 coming up.
3rd down 12 to 36.
And we have a couple of scores from around the CCCAA and other bowl games. Fresno 29, Butte 26. And the final there in that 1 o'clock playoff game.
3rd down and 12 from the 36-yard line. Valdez. And incomplete. It would have been enough for a 1st down, but Mouton unable to hang on there and enter the punting unit one more time.
Around here in Southern California, Southwestern 28, Palomar 24, Chaffee 51, Citrus 21, a 30-point victory for the Panthers, and then De Anza 42, Reedley 41, finals.
How about the year Chaffee had?
10-1.
Here's Fisher. And it'll be downed at the 22-yard line. Go to the rugby-style kick that time. 13:22 left in this first half. And Cerritos will take the ball looking to increase this 14-3 lead they have.
And I know that we've talked about Fisher over the last 2 weeks a lot, but you look at his punts here today. He's got, on each of his last 2, he had a 54-yarder followed by a 44-yarder. He's been able to get these off and just absolutely boom them forward. They doesn't have as much hang time as we're used to from traditional punters, but just those rolls that he's able to get have really helped out the Rustlers.
He's really been a difference maker here the second half of the season with his punting. Bravo hit as he throws. This is a live ball. It is a live ball. It's scooped up by the Rustlers inside the 5. Steven Cruz with the scoop. Bravo is shaken up. But the Rustlers, a huge tide turning here for Golden West as Bravo was hit right before his arm came forward. Rustlers will have it first and goal from the 2. Defense needing to make a big play, and they do so there, forcing a turnover. That is the 14th fumble recovery for the Rustlers this season. Heavy package. Valdez, the deep back, and hold everything. It's going to be a penalty in the back of the end zone, a legal substitution called.
Illegal substitution.
That's going to go against the Falcons. They move this one half the distance to the goal line, so it'll be second and goal from the 1. I formation. Valdez dots the I, and a fumble. Fumble! Recovered by Cerritos. It looked like Kalbacher tried to toss that to Valdez, and Valdez never got it. Unbelievable. It looked like Kalbacher didn't have his mind made up whether he wanted to sneak it or not. The pressure came. Looked like he tried to flip it to Tavon. Tavon wasn't expecting it. Meanwhile, here's Stevenson getting the carry for Cerritos. And he gets slippery through the hole there. And is able to pick up a couple. Wow.
If you're Bo in that situation, one thing is to be indecisive. The other is to try and send out an ill-advised pitch. I mean, if in that case, what you need to do if you're Bo, yes, if you're indecisive and you want to go back to Tavon, if you realize that the clock is running out on how open you are, you eat it yourself. You take it right to the floor. You're still at the 2-yard line rather than pitching it to a running back who just wasn't expecting that right at the goal line.
They go back to the ground game, and it's Stevenson getting it up the gut. Gets it up to the 12-yard line. Second down and 3 coming up. Pardon me, third down and 4 coming up. They throw it in the flat to Stevenson. Stevenson tries to break a tackle. He does. He's finally pushed out of bounds by Crawford at the 21-yard line. 9-yard pickup there, but you see why he's so tough. It's because he's so hard to take down.
He's got over 2,100 all-purpose yards this season, and he's actually less than 80 yards away from getting himself to 2,000 rushing-wise this year. We thought that DeAndre Daniels down at Southwestern was good, which he was, especially in that fourth quarter. But Stevenson is just something else.
They give it to Stevenson one more time, and he's tripped up after a pickup of a yard. Looks like he might have tripped over his own man there, over one of his offensive linemen.
Second down and 9 at 22.
Stevenson tonight, 7 carries, 22 yards, and a touchdown for Cerritos. 2nd and 9. Bravo had a man open in the flat, instead tries to go downfield. Incomplete. But a flag comes in late. Wow, he was looking for Gasser. Kramer was there on the coverage. Didn't see much of anything there.
They may get Kramer for making contact too early, but the thing is that ball was 4 yards out of bounds.
It was catchable, yeah.
It was 4 yards out of bounds. Gasser had to reach behind him after he was beyond the inbound marker and still was not able to get to that football.
So that'll move the ball up to the 37-yard line. It'll be a fresh set of downs for Cerritos. 1st down and 10. Tucker split wide to the bottom of your screen. They give it to Stevenson. And a stiff form by Stevenson, but holding on for dear life there is Ryan Raines. A couple of flags come in. They may get Raines here. Looked like he had the shoulder, but we'll see. Shane Smith will let us know. Yeah, he got the face mask, yeah.
Personal foul, face mask against Golden West.
So they'll add 15 yards to the end of the run. That'll put the ball at the Rustler 39-yard line. So 1st down and 10, Cerritos from the Rustler 39-yard line. Falcons aided by a couple 15-yarders here against the Rustlers. This one incomplete. He was looking for Stevenson out of the backfield. 2nd down.
For Ramondre Stevenson. 2nd down and 10 for Cerritos.
Wow. Stevenson getting another carry, and Justin Parker coming in there to make the stop. 1 yard gain, 3rd down coming up.
Third and 8 for the 37.
Third down and 8, Cerritos at the Golden West 37-yard line. 4 wide receivers for Bravo. Flag comes in. This may be a free play. Bravo throws it up towards the end zone. And incomplete. Not sure if there wasn't an offensive pass interference there. Again, C.J. Parks, the intended wide receiver.
Penalty flag on the play. Offside, Golden West.
I mean, offsides against Golden West, so that was, in fact, a free play for Bravo and Cerritos. So 3rd down and short coming up. 3rd and 3 from the Rustler 32-yard line.
3rd down and 3 for Cerritos.
.8:57 left in this 2nd quarter, and timeout taken by Cerritos. So it is their first charge timeout of this first half. Comes with 8:57 left. And while we have a moment, let's remind you that Golden West Rustler football on SportsNetUSA.net is brought to you in part by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Miller Toyota of Anaheim, used car deals, new car deals. Kind of deal you want, go down and holla at the fine folks at Miller Toyota of Anaheim, and they just might have the deal for you. Located at the 91 and Euclid and on the web at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and education. This Rustler defense on its heels right now, Ryan. Facing a 3rd and short coming up and needing a stop here after just an unlucky play down here at the other end. You force a turnover, you get 1st and goal from the 2. Your offense gets 0 points out of it.
And Rahshaun, you were talking about it early in the first quarter. This defense from Golden West looked terrific. I mean, through their first 2 drives, they only gave up 1 first down total and forced Cerritos into 2 punts. But yet, after that momentum shift that we saw with 5 minutes left to go in the first, it has really just been Cerritos having their way on offense, and it's led by Ramondre Stevenson.
The good thing for the Rustlers, Stevenson not in there. It's Odom the back on this 3rd down play, and he's hit in the backfield. Looked like that was Paka coming in off the edge. Paka Kakulidis, the Hawaiian native, stops Odom after a pickup of a yard, and a 4th down coming up. It looks like the Cerritos offense is staying on the field. You better believe Stevenson's back into this ball game. He's dotting the I. And another timeout taken by Cerritos. So Dean Grossfeld, the head coach, also the offensive coordinator for these Falcons, didn't like what he saw there, takes another timeout with 8:19 to play. So Cerritos with 1 timeout remaining. Rustlers have all 3 of their timeouts in this first half, and could be key in case that comes into play. Trailing by 11 here. But you wonder what that discussion is in the Cerritos huddle right now, Ryan.
Well, and it's interesting you mentioned that, Rahshaun, because it's like with a, 4th down and 2, everyone in the building is assuming that you're giving it to Ramondre Stevenson. So the question is, do you design something that is more of a play action type thing where it catches Golden West defense trying to cheat a little bit?
Yeah, E.T. Valele, the linebacker, lined up there as a fullback. Not sure anyone thinks he's getting the ball. I wouldn't bet on it. Of course, I'm not a betting man. Rustlers in their first bowl game since 2015. Cerritos making their first bowl appearance since 2014. Same formation. Valele the fullback, Stevenson dotting the I. Rustlers need to stay disciplined, don't want to jump off sides early. Stevenson climbs right over the left guard, gets enough for a 1st down. He needed 2, he got 4.
First down, Cerritos College.
Talking to some members of the Cerritos coaching staff prior to the game, they said, yeah, right, that guy number 3, yeah, he's hardly ever going to come off the field. Talking about Stevenson. Came into this game leading the state in rushing by a wide margin. Also, of course, won the rushing title in the Central League. Single season rushing leader here in Cerritos as he gets the carry again around the edge. Hurdles a defender at the 15-yard line and gets out of bounds at the 13, but there is a flag. He jumped right over Ryan Raines. Hold against Cerritos, so this will be coming back. We did not see this last year, Ryan. Rustlers came into here into Falcon Stadium, and it was really more of a two-headed monster with Stevenson and Corrali Hall, but it was Hall really who got the majority of the carries. Stevenson didn't touch the ball much. In fact, he had about 8 carries in the game last year, and these two teams faced.
And Rahshaun, they're just some guys who at the college level have to have that extra year of experience underneath them in order for them to learn how to pick up that extra yardage that Ramondre Stevenson has the knack to do.
1st and 20 from the 37, and Bravo had his man slip over there on the carpet. That was C.J. Parks. 2nd down. C.J. Parks a part of that just tremendous wide receiving core for the state champion Modern Day Monarchs a season ago. He alongside Amara St. Brown, Nico Remigio, both of whom are in the Pac-12 right now. A little stunned. Parks didn't get that D1 call either. Here's Stevenson getting it on the pitch. Dances his way up to the 30-yard line.
Ramondre Stevenson with the carry for Cerritos.
Picked up 8, 3rd and 12. But Parks a tremendous wide receiver. It's a very talented wide receiver core that Dean Grossfield has to coach here with these Falcons. 3rd down and 13, ball at the 31-yard line. 3 wide for Bravo. Looks over to the sidelines. Now takes it, they give it to Stevenson. And Stevenson off the left side. Stevenson still on his feet. Tries to break through another tackle, a 1st down and more, up to the 14-yard line. 17 yards on that pickup. On 3rd and 13, you go to your all-state running back. He gets you 17 and a 1st down inside the red zone.
Now he's within 40 yards of that 2,000-yard marker this season in just 10 games. Well, 11 if you count this one.
Unbelievable. Under 6 to play here in this 1st quarter. Bravo. And that one too hot to touch for his intended receiver was Walker coming out of the backfield. And look out, there's some extra pushing and shoving after that play. Looked like Kevin Miminger got into it with one of the offensive linemen for Cerritos.
Austin Freeman, offensive tackle, 6'10" freshman out of Rancho Dominguez.
It's a big boy. Timeout taken by Golden West. 5:40. Yeah, 6'10", 315 freshman. Wouldn't mind having him as my 4 or 5, putting him on the block and just letting him go to work. Have him plug my defense. Make sure there are no free trips to the basket. That's some serious size from that young man. 5:40 left, 2nd down and 10. Ball at the 14-yard line of the Rustlers. Rustlers need to stop here. I think if you hold them to 3, that will be huge.
Yeah, and especially considering the time on the clock left here in the 2nd half. The Rustlers won the toss and they deferred to the 2nd half. So they're also going to get the football coming out of halftime. If you're able to just hold them to those 3, that means it's just a 2-score game going into halftime. And if they do hold them to 3, they're going to get the football back prior to half.
This drive for Cerritos started way back at their own 7-yard line. Been aided by a couple of 15-yard penalties against the Rustlers on this drive. And also aided by that young man in the backfield right there, Ramondre Stevenson. They try a reverse, and they flip it. That's Tucker there, the wide receiver. As Raines takes him down along with Collins, 4-yard pickup. And those are plays that will catch everybody off guard when you figure everybody in the building thinks it's going to Ramondre Stevenson.
3rd and 6 for Cerritos.
4-yard pickup. Bravo, pressure right in his face, throws it over the middle. It's caught. Ball's out. Ball is out and recovered by the Rustlers at the 5. Are you kidding me? Cloy had it, and he says he was down, but the officials say, no, sir. Rustlers recover their second fumble of the night. And a huge sigh of relief here breathed by this Rustler contingent as this defense was backed up and on its heels, Ryan.
Rahshaun, really, if you're Golden West, you want to make Cerritos pay for that mistake right now. If you're the Golden West Rustlers and Coach John Shipp, the first thing you look at is something downfield that's going to pick up at least 30 yards.
You take your shot here. Kalbacher with his heels on the goal line, has Valdez behind him, pumps, throws it to the outside. Maxwell has it and gets out of bounds at the 12-yard line. 7-yard gain there on the pitch and catch.
Second down and 4 for Golden West.
2nd and 4 from the 12, 4:18 left. Low snap, Kalbacher throws it quickly to the far side. It's caught over there at the 20-yard line. A nice back pedal by Earl to pick up a couple extra yards. And it's a first down for Golden West at the 21-yard line. 9-yard pickup. First catch of the night for Earl. First and 10 Rustlers from their own 21. They go with the quick game. Rustlers just chewing away yards here. That was a Tentio.
David Atencio with the reception for Golden West.
4 yards on the pickup. First catch of the night for David.
7 to the 24.
Coming off a career day last Saturday at Grossmont. Second and 7 from the 24. Another low snap. Kalbacher picks it up off the turf. Escapes. Kalbacher still on his feet. Look at Bo going. A slide at the 40-yard line. Big Bo using his legs there. And that gets a roar from the far sideline in the Rustler contingent. They mark him down at the 38-yard line. 14 yards on the scamper by Kalbacher.
The best part of that run was the fake to the outside of the hash mark against DeLeon Arthur. All he did was throw that little head fake, and it was enough to get the defender to move away from it and an extra 8 yards.
Play fake. Kalbacher rolling. Throwing on the run. Intercepted. Picked off at the 37-yard line. And that was the safety, Noah Guzman. Second turnover of the night by this Rustler offense. And Cerritos will take over first and 10 from their own 36. Their own 44, I beg your pardon.
First and 10 for Cerritos.
2:27 to play. First and 10 Cerritos from the 44. Play fake. Bravo going to take his shot. Deep downfield. Has Parks. Incomplete. Collins was there on the coverage.
And that was the play that you were expecting from Golden West on the other side when Cerritos ended up giving the ball up inside the 5-yard line. You were expecting Golden West to try and make them pay with that shot. Well, all of a sudden, Cerritos takes the ball away, and they do exactly that. If you're able to be successful in connecting on that, it's demoralizing for the other side. But neither team able to connect on it. Well, actually, Golden West didn't even go for it.
2nd and 10 from the 44. Stevenson. Ramondre Stevenson. 12 yards on the carry into Golden West territory. Stevenson now with 71 yards on the ground, 13 carries. They go back to the ground. This time it's not Stevenson, and a green wave of Rustlers get to the ball carrier for a loss of 2. That was Walker getting the carry for the Falcons. Tell you what, Ryan, Stevenson is shown to be a great back this season. Has done some great things, obviously leading the state in rushing. Rustlers have been doing a pretty good job of bottling them up, although a small sample size, and then he scores that touchdown, and all of a sudden he's become a little bit tougher. Bravo running for his life. Bravo still on his feet. Isaiah Bravo with some running room. Finally, Aldapa gets to him, but it's going to be a gain of 9 there. 3rd down and 3 coming up.
And if you're the Rustlers down by 2 scores, you can't afford for 3 guys to have their hands on Bravo in the backfield and still not come away with the tackle.
And Coach Mitch wants a timeout. There's 20 seconds left in this half. And Nick Mitchell got that timeout just barely before they got the snap off. So huge play here, no doubt. 3rd and 3 coming up for Cerritos. Ball is at the Rustler 36-yard line. Coming up at the half, it'll be the Ryan Osborn show. He'll take you through all of the scores throughout California as it's bowl weekend and also the playoffs get underway here in community college football. And also an update of the SportsNetUSA.net California Community College Football Poll. The latest and greatest edition of that one. Don't want to miss all that coming up at the half right here on SportsNetUSA.net. Still 20 seconds left here in this first half.
And not to mention an update on a national championship going to Golden West campus today.
Huge news for the Rustlers. Always great when you're in the national conversation. Can't wait to hear that myself. They call that a tease in the business, folks. 3rd down and 3. Bravo. Pressure coming. He steps up. Bravo can run, but instead throws it downfield and incomplete.
Looked like it was Kramer and Raines who both got a hand on it.
Yeah, Kramer had a sliding attempt at it in the end zone. But incomplete, so a 4th down here, and Dean Grossfeld going to lead the offense on the field with 11 seconds left.
Guy over to our left likes the screen pass call.
They can run it here because they still have a timeout left. Stevenson in the backfield, he's dangerous. They can also give it to him, which they do. He goes off the left side, breaks 1 tackle, gets a 1st down, and he gets out of bounds inside the 25. So he gets 9. 6 seconds left.
First and 10 from the 25.
And they can maybe run one more play here. Art's longest field goal of the year is from 37. They would need about 5 more yards for that. They still have a timeout. Bravo slips on his back pedal, and he's going to be sacked. And that's going to take us to the end of the half.
That's the end of the first half.
Cruz got there.
14, Golden West 3.
Also in the backfield was Baldwin Wilson. Wolf Ratzliff joining the party as well. So the Rustlers get a stop going into the locker room at halftime. And they trail this one 14-3. Mistakes proved to be very, very costly for the Rustlers in this first half, Ryan. Is a muff punt led to the first touchdown of the night for Cerritos, and then a couple of missed tackles led to touchdown number 2.
Yeah, and I think that really when you look at Golden West College, it's a matter of just allowing that momentum by Cerritos to catch you flat-footed. You start off with that Atencio muff punt where looking back on it, we know that he shouldn't have tried to make an attempt at that ball, considering it was going to go past him. Either way, had he allowed that one to roll, it would have only gone 1 yard past him, but yet he still gets a touch on it. Then afterwards, you have a couple of dropped interceptions as well, and also if you're coughing the ball up multiple times, once at the goal line, that's just not going to allow you to stay inside of a ball game.
So halftime here at Falcon Stadium. Rustlers trail it 14-3. Coming up on the other side of the break will be the Ryan Osborn Show. It'll get you caught up on all the bowl game action throughout the state of California, as well as latest and greatest SportsNetUSA.net Community College Football Poll. That coming up on the other side of the break. We'll step aside. Rustlers trail it at the half, 14-3. You're watching Golden West Rustler football right here on SportsNetUSA.net. Welcome back to Falcon Stadium on the campus of Cerritos College. Rustlers will receive the second half kickoff. Special thanks to Ryan Osborn for holding it down here at the half. We'll give you some first half stats in just a moment. It will be Valdez back to receive it for the Rustlers. He alone. Well, actually, a couple of changes now. Cyrus Collins and Coos Ford back there on the kickoff return for Golden West. As both teams are lined up and we're about ready to go. Arts puts it on the tee. Rustlers trailing by 11 here and have an opportunity on this first possession of the second half. Coos forward on the kickoff return. Gets it up to the 25-yard line. That's where Bo Kalbacher and company will start 1st and 10. 25 plays, 101 yards of total offense for Golden West, 39-181 for Cerritos. The time of possession, 11:20 for the Rustlers, 18:40 for Cerritos. 7 first downs for the Rustlers, 11 for the Falcons, 89 yards through the air for the Rustlers, 94 yards for Cerritos. And the rushing yards, 12 rushing yards for the Rustlers, 87 rushing yards for Cerritos. Ramondre Stevenson had 92 yards in that first half, but a couple of losses led to just the 87 yards gained. As the first play is a pitch and catch from Kalbacher to the far sideline, and he finds his old college teammate, Braylon Mouton. So they needed 10. They get 10 on this first play of the second half. Mouton, first catch of the night.
First and 10 for Golden West at the 35.
Cerritos was 1 for 2 in the red zone. Golden West, of course, 0 for 1 in the red zone after that tough turnover from Kalbacher, the fumble. Kalbacher, a couple turnovers in the first half. Goes back to throw again. This one tall, but Mouton goes up and grabs it, falling out of bounds. He makes the catch, and he gets 8, and Braylon Mouton looks like he's ready to start going to work here in this second half. A couple of quick receptions, and the Rustlers trying to get something going here. 2nd down and 2, ball at the 43-yard line. Each team lost 2 fumbles in that first half. Kalbacher on the play fake, and he throws it out in the flats. And that is caught there by Ratzliff. And Ratzliff gets enough for the first down up to the 45-yard line. So he picked 2. Ratzliff was the man coming around on the fake end around. And so for Ben, he has his 3rd catch of the night, and it's a Rustler first down. What adjustments will be made by John Shipp and this Rustler offense here in this second half? Of course, the running game, not much of a factor in the first half, but of course that's been the season, the story all season long for these Rustlers. Play fake, a free runner, and Kalbacher sacked. That was Barnaby. Came off the edge untouched, and Kalbacher had no chance there as he loses 6, and a 2nd and long coming up.
And you can dink and dunk all you want, Rahshaun, here early in this second half, but if you can't protect Bo Kalbacher, it's not going to do you any good because he's not going to have enough time to get that football out.
And Barnaby just came through free that time. 2 seconds left on the play clock. Kalbacher has to hurry, and he takes it and is going to keep it himself. And Bo, just shy of midfield, gets back to the original line of scrimmage, plus a couple of more up to the 48-yard line. So on 2nd and 16, he picks up about 8, making 9, and 3rd and 7 coming up.
3rd down and 7 for the 40.
Not sure I expected that play to be called on 2nd and long, but Kalbacher gets it with his leg. So 3rd and 7 here, just shy of midfield. Kalbacher rolling, throwing on the run at the sticks. It's caught, but just shy because the receiver Mouton had to come back for that one. He made the catch, though. It'll be about a yard shy. Or was that Penn that made the catch over there? It looked like Mouton, but Penn was arguing the spot.
Holding against Golden West.
Doesn't matter anyway, because it's going to be a hold against the Rustlers. Each team had 4 penalties apiece in that first half. Rustlers with 2 of 5 on third down. Cerritos 4 of 9. So this will move the ball back to the 39-yard line of the Rustlers. Make that the 38 as it's repositioned there by our umpire tonight, Charlie Chastain.
Third down 13 for Golden West, the 38.
So spot a foul penalty. So it'll be a third down. Well, they're calling it third and
Third down 17.
13. It's 3rd and 17. The line to gain is the 45-yard line of Cerritos. More pressure coming. Kalbacher on the run, throws it, has pin, and a big-time collision there. It looked like more friendly fire than anything else. As Mouton was trying to pick up a block, he ran in the pin there, it appeared. Shashi nonetheless shy of midfield and well shy of a first down as he picked up 9 there. That fires up the crowd here inside Falcon Stadium and that Falcon sideline. Penn with his 5th grab of the night, but it's going to be a 4th down for the Rustlers. As Fisher boots this one away. Fair catch called for at the 14-yard line and made there by Gasser. 10:31 left in this third. So the Rustlers get the ball first in the second half. Move a little bit, but unable to continue the drive as it halts in their own zone. And now Isaiah Bravo and company will have their first crack at it here in this second half. 1st and 10 from their own 14. Wonder what adjustments defensively will be made by these Rustlers. Didn't play a bad half. There's one thing to be adjusted, it's the tackling as Stevenson gets the carry on the first play of this drive and easily picks up 9.
Ramondre Stevenson on the carry for Cerritos. Second down and 1 for the Falcons.
2nd and 1 coming up for Cerritos. Ball at the 23. Bravo going downfield for Parks, jump ball, and nobody gets to it. One-on-one coverage there by McCord. May have gotten away with a push in the back. No flag from our officials here. It'll be 3rd down. So they take their shot on 2nd down. You got to imagine it's going back to number 3 here on 3rd down, 3rd and 1.
And speaking of number 3, that Ramondre 2K watch is currently at just 23 yards.
Unbelievable. He enters the game with 18:81. 2 seconds left on the play clock. Bravo hands it off to Stevenson. He gets around the edge, and Stevenson up the far sideline. A stutter step, and finally pushed out of bounds by Coos Ford at the Rustler 40-yard line.
And now Stevenson is past 2,000 yards in a single season. 11 games total is all it took. Not to mention he's got over 2,300 all-purpose.
So they actually say he stepped out of bounds at midfield. So 32 yards on the carry there for Stevenson. 1st and 10 from midfield for the Falcons. And this time he's taken down for a loss. Paka Kakulidis got in there and would not let go as he wrestles down Stevenson to the turf. It's going to be a loss there of 3. Stevenson, meanwhile, as you mentioned, Ryan, over 100 yards in this game now. And he's gotten over the 100-yard mark in every single game this season. You figure the Rustlers will have a chance if they're able to hold him under 100, but that's something no team has been able to do all season long. Here's Bravo on 2nd and long, going to run. Isaiah Bravo into the open field. First down, Cerritos.
Isaiah Bravo with the run for Cerritos, penalty flag on the play.
But there is a flag on the play, and it's going to be a hold against Cerritos, so this one will be coming back. 8:23 left in this third.
Rahshaun, you mentioned that no team was able to hold him to under 100 yards. That includes teams like College of the Canyons and Fullerton. Fullerton, the #1 team in the entire nation against the run. College of the Canyons, top 6.
Yeah, that College of the Canyons defense, one of the best I've seen all season. Fullerton defense, not too shabby either.
Penalty was against Greece College holding. Second down and 23.
Second and 23 after the penalty. Quick pass out to Gasser in the flat. Jacob Gasser with a full head of steam across midfield. Down at the 47-yard line.
We want to mention on his last carry, Ramondre Stevenson passed 2,000 yards for the year.
And they just make the announcement. Ramondre Stevenson over 2,000 yards on the year. Third down and 7 coming up. After that 16-yard pickup from Bravo to Gasser. It's the first catch of the night for Gasser. Bravo just going to throw it up and picked off. Picked off by the Rustlers. Coming up the sideline is VJ Malo. They said he stepped out of bounds just shy of the 40, but 45 all over the place these last few weeks, and comes up with a big pick here for the Rustlers.
And that ball by Bravo, it looked like it just slipped out of his hands as he tried to force it out there. There wasn't much that the receiver for Cerritos could do on that one, and Malo, all he had to do was just walk right in front of it and take an easy stroll down the left sideline.
Heavy pressure put on the Cerritos quarterback there, forced that errant throw, and Malo comes up with the INT. The freshman out of O'Day, Washington.
At the Cerritos 42.
So 1st and 10 Rustlers from the Cerritos 42. They go option. Kalbacher, the pitch. Swain hitting the backfield.
Dante Swain went to carry for Golden West.
That's Ronald Jones, the sophomore out of Brethren Christian, getting the TFL there. Second and 12 from the 44. 4 wide for Kalbacher. They're going to try to set up the running back pass, and Maxwell hitting the backfield. It's Jordan Thomas as the Rustlers going backwards here on this drive.
Jordan Thomas with the tackle for Cerritos.
A huge loss. Loss of 12 on the play. 3rd and 24 coming up. Rustlers have the ball now in their own zone. Kalbacher throws it over the middle. Caught Mouton. Tremendous catch over the middle, and look out. Some pushing and shoving after that play. No flag thrown, however.
Braylon Mouton with the reception for Golden West.
Rahshaun,
Pickup of 19. Sorry about that, Ryan.
That's okay. In the game of hockey, if your team gets a penalty called against you, the first thing that you try and do is you go to the other side and try and force them into a penalty. That's what Mouton was trying to do, get Cerritos into an unforced error.
So 4th and 5, and a timeout comes from Cerritos.
Cerritos calls timeout.
They didn't like something with the way they were lined up there defensively. Comes with 5:04 left. First charge timeout for the Falcons in this half. And fans, don't forget, Golden West Rustler football right here on SportsNetUSA.net is brought to you in part by Miller Toyota of Anaheim, where service and parts is open 7 days a week for your convenience. Located at the 91 and Euclid, and on the web at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and education. 5:04 to play in this third quarter. Rustlers with the ball, trailing 14-3. A huge 4th and 5 coming up. Rahshaun, Haylock, Ryan Osborn here with you for this 2018 Southern California Bowl. Rustlers back in a bowl game for the first time since 2015, taking on this Cerritos team. It finds itself in a bowl for the first time since 2014. And playing under first-year head coach Dean Grossfield. And Kalbacher, ball was snapped at his leg. He wasn't ready for it and had to just throw it out to Atencio. Meanwhile, there was a Falcon lined up in the neutral zone, no flag.
And that's exactly what Kalbacher is talking about. He goes, at first he immediately went up to the official and looked at him and said, hey, I mean, you can't allow that to happen when you have a guy who's almost an entire yard into the neutral zone, and yet they allow the snap to go off. Especially in the postseason, you can't allow that to happen as an official.
Unreal. So a turnover on downs. Rustlers have not been able to capitalize off any of the turnovers they forced tonight against Cerritos. Falcons go to the ground game. Stevenson bounces it outside, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 45-yard line by Jacob Hanley. Seven yards on the gain for Stevenson.
An update from Riverside. It's Riverside 35, El Camino 10 at the half in that Southern California playoff, and it's still 21-10 Ventura with 5 minutes to go in the third quarter.
Second and 3 from the Falcon 44. Bravo. Right back to Stevenson. Why not? As he fights for extra yards, shy of midfield. He picks up 5 and another Falcon first down. 4:10 to play in this third quarter. 14-3. Falcons with the ball and the lead. Stevenson, this time he cuts it back up the middle. Stevenson bounces it to the outside. There are two different flags on the play. One back near the line of scrimmage, another one at the 36-yard line of the Rustlers. Shane Smith will sort this out. First flag is a hold that's going to be declined. The other one is a hold that is going to be accepted by the Rustlers. So this negates another long run by Ramondre Stevenson. Says his favorite athlete is Cristiano Ronaldo. You can kind of tell why with some of the fancy footwork he's displayed here tonight.
Footwork and also the ability to just find himself some open space and buy himself extra time.
Not a bad year. Ran for 500 yards last season, but as we mentioned, he was splitting time. This year, he's just exploded. They throw it out into the flat, incomplete. That was Odom, the intended wide receiver. Ramondre Stevenson, first team All-State out of Nevada. To where you played his high school football. Hails from Las Vegas. Just a fantastic year he's having. Stevenson. And he's shoved out of bounds by Raines after a pickup of 3. He set records this season for Cerritos. 336 rush yards, a single game record. He's the career rushing leader for the Falcons. That former record was 2,307 yards by Andre Wooten back in 1986-87. And he has a single season record, which he continues to add to here tonight, breaking Daryl Thompson's 1,527 yards back in 1991. Bravo under pressure, Bravo dancing, Bravo runs into Malo and Wolf Ratzlaff. Big sack there on 3rd down by the Rustlers as the defense is able to get off the field. So the defense, as has been the case, Ryan Osborn doing its job, doing just enough here.
So far, it's really been VJ Malo's show tonight as well.
This one blocked. Another block kick by the Rustlers. With Sean Branch on the punt team, getting in there for the block. That's 2 block kicks tonight. One on a PAT, the other one on this punt. That's now 6 blocks in the last 3 games for this Rustler special teams. Never seen anything like this before. Unreal. So they'll take over 1st and 10 from the Falcon 39-yard line. Can this be the drive, Ryan Osborn?
I think if you're Golden West, it has to be. You need points coming into the 4th quarter.
This is good as a turnover, really. Kalbacher will take it 1st and 10. Delivers, has a man up top, caught, end zone, touchdown, Rustlers. The Texas connection, Kalbacher to Braylon Mouton. And the Rustlers now within 5. There's that shot you've been looking for all night, Ryan Osborn. Kalbacher delivers. Rustlers call timeout with 1:32 left in this 3rd quarter after that touchdown. Down by 5, you figure you might as well go for 2 here. I'm sure the card says go for 2. I don't carry the card. Andrew King carries the card with him, so I'm not really sure, but I'm pretty sure 5 is one of those numbers.
And, I mean, Rahshaun, in this case, if you go for 2 and you're successful, it turns it into just a field goal game. It'd be 14-11. If you're not successful, okay, well, you're still only down by 1 possession, and a touchdown would actually win it. Or, excuse me, a touchdown will put you in front at least, the way that this ball game has been going. But if you're able to go for 2 and convert on it, make it a 3-point game, the way that VJ Malo has been leading this defense over the last 2 drives for Cerritos, you have good chances.
So the offense comes back onto the field. They go 3 receivers to the far side. Valdez the one back. Kalbacher going to roll, throws a jump ball, and it's picked off in the end zone. Return is stopped at the 2, and hold up. There's a flag that comes in.
And that's going to be against Cerritos.
Let's see here. Is it after the play or is it on the return?
From this side of the field, it looked like it was after the play. A Cerritos Falcon knocking a Golden West Rustler on that far side to his backside. But you're right, Rahshaun. I mean, if this is on the return, that's something huge for Golden West in a break. It's going to be enforced on the kickoff. It's an unsportsmanlike conduct going against Cerritos. So it was a dead ball foul, and it will be enforced, as we mentioned, on the kickoff.
They call that on Tyshawn Barnaby, another one of the Las Vegas products for the Cerritos team. So this being forced on the kickoff, Ryan. As you mentioned, 1:32 left. Each team with 2 timeouts left, as we're about 92 seconds away from this third quarter coming to an end. Rustlers have got it to within a possession here after Kalbacher connected with Braylon Mouton for a 39-yard touchdown. For Kalbacher, that's touchdown number 19 on the season. Mouton, his 3rd touchdown grab. Mouton now with 4 catches for 76 yards and a touchdown. And all of Braylon's catches have come here in this second half, in this third quarter. So Fisher from midfield will kick this one into the Norwalk Knight and back of the end zone for a touchback.
Now it's really up to this Golden West defense. You have to make sure that Cerritos doesn't get points ending this third quarter. You have the momentum on your side. You have that basically a turnover of the block, and then the immediate strike to Braylon Mouton. Golden West cannot afford for Cerritos to march down the field in the next 1:32 and score.
So the Falcons started 1st and 10 from their own 25. Ground game, Stevenson shucking and jiving. Ramondre Stevenson, a big-time run across midfield. And taken down at the 46-yard line.
Austin Kramer finally got him from behind.
29-yard scamper there for Stevenson. He's approaching 160 on the night here on the ground. He is special. A minute left in the third. 1st and 10 from the Rustler 26. Bravo under center. Toss it this time. Stevenson. And he gets 5 to the 41.
Second down and 5 to the 41.
It's about a 5-second differential between the play clock and the game clock. So Cerritos does have to run another play here in this third quarter. 2nd and 5 from the Rustler 41-yard line. They go back to him. He goes off the left side this time and gets a first down.
Stevenson, first down run for Cerritos.
Picks up 7. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter. So after 3, Cerritos 14, Golden West 9, as you're watching the Southern California Bowl right here on SportsNetUSA.net. Rustlers not going away as they find the end zone for the first time tonight. And they did so in that third quarter to get to within 5. It was Bo Kalbacher connecting with Braylon Mouton for a 39-yard touchdown. Failed two-point conversion, and that's where we stand now. Rustlers trailed at 14-3 at the half. And this is a Cerritos team that is prone to giving up leads. We mentioned earlier, in case you're just joining us, they had a league championship game here against El Camino last week. They lost it 21-20. They actually led the game 14-0 and also led it 20-7 going into the fourth, but they were outscored 14-0 in that fourth quarter, including a fourth quarter pick 6. Wouldn't that be nice for the Rustlers to have? 1st and 10 from the Rustler 34 as they flip fields. Rahshaun, Haylock, Ryan Osborn here with you from Falcon Stadium. Bravo throws it up top. Coos Ford couldn't get to it, but there is a flag on the play. Coos was the only one in the area.
Now the deal with this is that it won't be PI. It might be a hold. If it's a hold, as there are 2 flags down, one in the backfield as well. If it's a hold, it doesn't matter about the uncatchable ball.
So a pass interference they call, and they also call a roughing the passer. So the PI declined, the roughing the passer enforced.
Pass interference is declined. Personal foul, roughing the passer is accepted.
And that moves the ball to the 19-yard line.
We have a very quick scoring update from Northern California. It is Laney 14, San Mateo 0. Start of the fourth quarter there. Riverside 49, El Camino 10 in the third.
Gasser in the slot to the top of your screen. Stevenson getting the carry and a nice tackle there by JP. Justin Parker, the nice open field tackle, limiting Stevenson to just 4 on that carry. That's the shortest carry he's had in a while. 2nd down and 7 as they give him just 3 there on that carry. 2nd and 7 from the 16. You can hear some of the defensive chants coming from the Rustler contingent opposite us. 6 on the play clock from Bravo. Takes the snap in the flat, he delivers it, and it's caught out there. And getting it across the 15-yard line and down at the 12 is Kiki Mendoza.
Jeremy Haywood with the reception for Cerritos.
Just an absolutely terrific open field tackle there by Paka Kakalidis. He made sure that he was able to keep him in front. Didn't allow for the receiver to just kind of juke and jive his way for extra yardage. That's something that Golden West hasn't been able to do too well in this ball game, but Paka does it in a crucial time.
3rd and 3 from the 12. Stevenson looking, tipped, incomplete, but a flag comes in. Nick Mitchell is irate right now.
Incomplete pass, penalty flag on the play.
Both hands thrown in the sky, thinking this one may go against his team, obviously not agreeing with the call. They call a hold against the Rustlers. Wow.
Against Golden West. Half the distance to the goal. Cerritos will have 1st and goal to 6.
So this will move the ball to the 6-yard line. The penalty is enforced, half the distance to the goal line. Just one wide receiver for Cerritos. They toss it to Stevenson. on the outside. Stevenson cuts it back. Meminger gets to him, but not before he gets into the end zone. Touchdown, Cerritos.
Touchdown, Cerritos.
Second touchdown of the night for Stevenson. And this increases the Cerritos lead. They line up for two. Seeing no advantage, Arts will get ready to kick this one. Rustlers off sides, but the point after is good. So Stevenson tonight with touchdown runs of 6 and 9.
Point after attempt.
This last one puts Cerritos up 21-9.
Outside against Golden West. That penalty is declined. Score now, Cerritos College 21, Golden West 9.
$13-18 left in this fourth quarter. Rahshaun Haylock alongside Ryan Osborn here with you. Ed Ford manning the controls for this Southern California Bowl here from Falcon Stadium. Couple of untimely penalties for the Rustlers on that last drive. And Cerritos able to take advantage as Ramondre Stevenson runs for his second touchdown of the night. I mean, he's done everything here tonight except sell popcorn. He has done it all for this Falcon offense, which has been the case for them pretty much all season long. Averaging over 180 yards per game this year on the ground. As Arts kicks it off, and this one going to be taken at the 7 by Cyrus Collins, pardon me. Here's Cyrus Collins taking it all the way across the field. Collins, the freshman out of Orange, will get it up to the 35-yard line. So Rustlers need to answer with another big-time drive of their own here. And they'll have pretty good field position to do so. 1st and 10 from their own 36. As Kalbacher will lead the offense back onto the field.
First 10, 36.
And they stack the receivers to each side. One back, that's Dwayne Roper in there. Low snap, they hand it off to Roper. Roper gets to the second level in a hurry. Across the 40 and down at the 43-yard line. 7 yards on that first down carry from Roper.
And as far as we can tell, Saddleback just beat Bakersfield. It's a 34-31 game with 2 seconds left to go on the clock. So Saddleback beats Bakersfield by a final of 34-31. And Saddleback comes back with 14 points in the second half to win it.
It's a Bakersfield team that has really improved throughout the year. Here's a quick pass out to Ratzliff, who climbs across midfield and into Falcon territory. 9 yards and a first down.
Touching 10 for Golden West. First and 10 from the Cerritos 48.
1st and 10, Golden West at the Falcon 48-yard line. Kalbacher throws off his back foot, back shoulder, caught! Oh, what a tremendous adjustment there on the catch by Ratzliff. Ho, 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 big time play there by the sophomore out of San Diego, up to the 22-yard line.
First down to 22.
26 yards and a first down. Sixth catch of the night for Ratzliff. He has 64 yards. They go back to the ground. And on 1st and 10, Roper may have gotten one.
Joanne Roper with the carry for Golden West. Second down and 10.
2nd and 10 from the 22. Kalbacher has his man at the 15. That's Earl.
Jonathan Earl with the reception.
7 yards and 3rd and short coming up. 10:42 left.
3rd down and 3 for Golden West, the 15.
Bo over 200 yards throwing tonight. There's a man wide open in the slot if he sees it. He doesn't see it. Throws it near side to Earl. Earl stays on his feet and upended at the 2-yard line.
Jonathan Earl.
Rahshaun, you mentioned that. I believe that was Sashi Penn who was just unguarded on that left-hand side.
No one saw him. No one accounted for him.
1st and goal for the 2.
10 yards for Earl. 1st and 10 from the 2-yard line. Or 1st and goal, pardon me, from the 2-yard line. Roper in the backfield. He gets the carry. Roper pushing, not getting there.
Joanne Roper with the carry for Golden West.
Barnaby getting in there again. He's been all over the place tonight.
2nd goal for the 1.
And they give Roper 1 on the carry. 2nd and goal coming up from the 1. They bring in Malo to play fullback. Kalbacher gives it to Malo. Valdez pushes him. And they don't give him the forward progress. Barnaby came in from the back and grabbed Malo by the waist and pulled him backwards.
And that spot is just not the best there, Rahshaun, because Malo had 2 feet in the end zone.
They say no gain. Wow. So 3rd and goal from the 1. Same formation. Bo. And a false start against the Rustlers.
False start against Golden West. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So 3rd and goal from the 6 now. 8:39 to play in this 4th quarter. Rustlers down 21-9. This is 2-down territory. You got to imagine at this point in the game, trailing by 12 here. 4 wide. Valdez the back. Kalbacher. Scrambles. Kalbacher going to keep it. Bo gets to about the 1.5, and he stopped there. 4th and goal coming up.
4th down and goal for the 2.
So nice run by Bo. Seems like he ran about 14 to pick up 4. The 4th and goal from the 2. Bo out of the pistol. Cerritos crowd coming alive. Play fake. Throws the slant behind his intended receiver. Incomplete. Bo was over some serious pressure there. Penn was the intended receiver. As Kalbacher took a shot as he delivered that one. And it's a turnover on downs. 7:34 to play. Like the play call there.
It was open.
The pressure got to Bo. Couldn't set his feet and deliver a good ball, a timely ball there to Penn. Really nothing Bo could do in that situation.
I mean, you credit Bo with that look over to his left. The slant was wide open. The problem was, as you mentioned, Rahshaun, he actually short arms it. His arm goes out to the side, more like a side armor in baseball. And once that football releases from there, it's going straight down.
So Bravo will take the snap in his own end zone, gives it to Stevenson right through the gut. Ramondre Stevenson up to the 19-yard line. How's that for breathing room? Picks up 17.
First down, Cerritos at the 19.
Stevenson closing in on 200 yards tonight. And going back to your point, I mean, you can say what you want about Bo Kalbacher, but he is about as tough as they come. He's hung in that pocket all year long, knowing he's going to take some big shots. They give it to Stevenson. Coos Ford came in there and got him around the ankles,
Ramondre Stevenson for Cerritos.
as Cruz was able to finish him off. Stevenson up to the 23-yard line, 4-yard pickup. As a team, Cerritos over 200. They average 264 per game on the ground. Second down and 6, they're calling it, from the 23. Bravo, and he's sacked. Paka! Kakulidis getting in the backfield. Big loss there.
With the sack for Golden West.
Loss of 8. .544 left in this fourth quarter. Southern California Bowl here on SportsNetUSA.net. Rustlers in quite a hole here, down 21-9. Big third down coming up. They give it to Stevenson. Stevenson stops and able to chase him down from behind his pocket to make that tackle at the 22-yard line. So the 8 yards they lost on that pocket sack, they get it right back. But it's still going to be a 4th down and 6. It looks like Cerritos going to let the play clock wind down here before calling the timeout and punting this away. So timeout taken by Cerritos. 4:43 left in this fourth quarter. And fans, don't forget, Golden West Rustler football on SportsNetUSA.net, brought to you in part by Miller Toyota of Anaheim. Used car deals, new car deals, lease specials. What do you want? They got it. Hit up the fine folks over at Miller Toyota of Anaheim, located on the 91 and Euclid. Also on the web at MillerToyotaofAnaheim.com. Miller Toyota of Anaheim supports community college sports and education. Final 4:43 perhaps of the season here at Falcon Stadium, Ryan Osborn. And Rustlers forcing a 4th down here, 4th and 6 for the Falcons in their own zone. Ball at their own 23-yard line. Rustlers have blocked the punt already this evening. Arts will go back to punt this one. Atencio waiting for it. And he comes up, catches it on a line drive just shy of midfield, and Atencio wiggles his way up for a couple at the 48-yard line of Cerritos.
David Atencio with the punt reception for Golden West.
So 4:35 left Rustlers down 2 possessions, need to strike and strike quickly here, Ryan.
And I think you really, I mean, we've been saying it over the last 3 weeks, but it's more prominent here. Golden West has to leave this game in the hands of Bo Kalbacher and allow him to either win it or lose it for you on this drive.
They give it to him on first down. Bo finds Dorsey, and Dorsey dropped it.
And that's drop number 8 for Golden West receivers tonight.
Second down and 10.
Second down and 10.
Dorsey, the lone receiver at the bottom of your screen. 3 receivers to the top. Kalbacher tried to keep it on a draw. And it looks like he ran right into his own man. He ran right into the back of Genesis Ofagalilo, the sophomore right guard, for no gain. .412 and counting here. 3rd and 10 for the Rustlers. Low snap. Kalbacher. Jump ball, it's caught. Did he stay in? He did. First down. Nice catch over there.
And that was Penn. As he goes to the sideline, he ends up making sure that he's got possession of the football, but then also stabs his right foot down right before he gets pushed out of bounds. That's what allows it to be a catch.
Team high, 6 catches tonight for Shashi. Here's Kalbacher throwing it on the run, back shoulder, and Penn unable to haul in that one. Second down coming up, but the clock does stop, though, with the incompletion. 3:34 left.
Bo has to make sure that he looks at all of his reads because Ben Ratzlaff was wide open right at the post.
And that's his guy, too. You got to know at some point he's going to be looking in the direction of number 15. 2nd and 10, Rustlers from the Falcon 32-yard line. Kalbacher steps up, looking up the boundary, and incomplete. Referee threw his hat, meaning Atencio, who's the intended wide receiver on that play, must have been out of bounds and came back in.
3rd down and 10 for Golden West.
So another huge 3rd down for the Rustlers. 3:26 left. 3rd and 10. Mouton split alone to the top of your screen. Penn in the slot at the bottom. Kalbacher looking, and he had Ratzlaff, and he dropped it. Ben had it on a comeback. I don't know if it would have been enough for a first down, but it was close. And so this is a huge 4th down play, biggest play of the night for the Rustlers. .321 to play. And a false start against the Rustlers.
False start against Golden West. 5-yard penalty. 4th down and 15.
Rustlers have to get it to the 22-yard line. And another flag comes in. And they call this one against the Rustlers again. Another false start. So it's now a 4th and 20. 3:19 left. Karlbacher steps up, and he has pin. No catch, regardless of the fact it was well shy of the first down. And with 3:10 to play and up 2 possessions here, Ryan Osborn, that might be it.
And it was just Golden West stepping into their own way that entire drive for the Rustlers. I mean, when you have 2 straight false starts on a 4th down opportunity and you take yourself back to 4th down and 20, you're already putting the nails in your own coffin, let alone what Cerritos was able to cover.
So Cerritos takes over at their own 42-yard line, 1st and 10. They pitch it to Stevenson. A 1st down and more into Rustler territory down at the 45-yard line.
Ramondre Stevenson for Cerritos.
$12 yards for Stevenson. Timeout, Golden West. Stevenson now with 214 yards on the ground. What a night it's been for that young man. What a career it's been for him here in a Falcon uniform, as he puts the exclamation point on it here. One of the greatest single seasons in California community college football history. .258 left.
Quick scoring update over from Canyons. It's Ventura 21, Canyons 13. So the Cougars get a field goal back, but there's only 5 minutes to play in that one.
I am stunned by that.
I can bet that Canyons is too.
Ball at the Rustler 46-yard line. Stevenson gets the carry again, and he's hit hard in the backfield. Malo got there. Paca finished him off. Another timeout taken by Golden West at a loss of 4 there on the carry for Stevenson. Pushes him back to the 49-yard line. Final timeout of the game for the Rustlers. Comes with 2:49 left. While we have a moment, want to say hello to Mrs. Mitch, listening up north. So very, very grateful of your support of us here at sportsnetusa.net. Hope all is well with you and the family. Wishing all of you a happy and healthy Thanksgiving. From my partner, Andrew King, myself, all of us here at sportsnetusa.net. Also, a happy Thanksgiving to all the Rustler fans out there from all of us as well. It's Turkey Day quickly approaching. It's the Rustlers' season coming to a close here.
2nd 13 for Cerritos.
Second and 13. They go with the end around. They toss it to the wideout, Tucker. And he's able to get only back to the original line of scrimmage, or back to the line of scrimmage, I beg your pardon. So 3rd and 13 coming up. No gain on that play for the Bosco grad.
3rd 13 for the 49.
2:25 left and ticking. Rustlers cannot stop the clock anymore in this one. Cerritos has 1 timeout left, but can't imagine there being a reason for them to use that here. 1:05 left on the play clock. Bravo snaps it. Stevenson. Big time run there as he collided with Branch.
Ramondre Stevenson with the carry for Cerritos.
Down at the 46-yard line, a pickup of 3 there for Stevenson. And 1:35 left. Here will be the place where they use that last timeout, perhaps. Let the play clock dwindle down to about 1, take a timeout here, and maybe punt it away. As they do. So the timeout taken by Dean Grossfeld. No more timeouts left for Cerritos. Rustlers, of course, out of timeouts, trailing 21-9. As is often the case, Ryan Osborn, you get to this time of the year and you start making your list of shoulda, coulda, wouldas. What could have been, and if this had happened, then this would have happened. And you even start with this game and work your way backwards, or you can start with Fullerton and work your way down. How we gotten to this point. But, of course, you want to accentuate the positives. And Rustlers, of course, back in a bowl game for the first time since 2015. Hats off to these fantastic sophomores. Bo Kalbacher coming back from just a devastating injury a season ago to return here and throw for over 2,000 yards passing. Ben Ratzliff, phenomenal year, tied for the team lead with touchdown receptions. Go over to the defensive side of the ball. David Aldapa, just his leadership as Bravo quick kicks this one away. It's going to be downed at the 14-yard line. Braylon Mouton, the fantastic impact that he's made. Genesis Ofagalilo, I beg your pardon. So stout on that offensive line for the Rustlers over the last couple of years. Tavon Valdez, tremendous job by him. Seen some flashes. Just a terrific back. And you see the potential that lies there with Tavon. You go over to the defensive side of the ball, of course. David Aldapa, can't say enough good things about him. As Kalbacher takes it 1st and 10, and he's sacked. They haven't got to him much tonight, but there is Thomas. And he was a thorn in the Rustlers' side last season when these two teams met right here at Falcon Stadium. But Jordan Thomas getting in there for the sack. 2nd and 17. Kalbacher throws it quickly out to Valdez, who tries to get up the boundary, and he gets out of bounds at the 16-yard line. So an 8-yard pickup there. Always so fun to see Tay get loose in the open field. 42 seconds left in this one. 3rd down and 9 for the Rustlers from the 12. Kalbacher throws it quickly out. This one caught by Wright. Wright's got to get out of bounds, and he's able to wrestle his way out of bounds here, despite the efforts of Barnaby and Guzman. Gets out of bounds at the 26-yard line. 14 yards. A Gatorade bath coming up here for Dean Grossfeld. Kalbacher over the middle, a stiff arm, and a 1st down there by Shashi Penn, a pickup of 13. The Rustlers try to hurry up and get back on the ball. First and 10 from the 39. Kalbacher steps up. Kalbacher hit hard at about the 45. Tries to hurry. 14 seconds left. Kalbacher gets him on the ball and snaps it. You hear the Cerritos sideline erupting as they totally botched the Gatorade bath. Coach Grossfeld gets out of the way. But huge celebration on this sideline right in front of us. 6 seconds left, 2nd and 4 from the 39. Got to imagine it's probably the last play of the game here. Last play of this 2018 season for the Rustlers.
And yes, it is only 6 seconds left to play, and it doesn't matter now. But if you're going to call those 2 false starts earlier on Golden West that killed their drive, you have to call something on the fact that there were 16 different Falcons on the field at the same time.
Kalbacher throws it short to Valdez, incomplete. And so they'll have one more opportunity. Kalbacher, you see the emotions kind of boiling over here for Bo. Realizes his career in a Rustler uniform coming to an end. Fourth down. Bo throws it downfield. Ratcliffe, he rattles it back to Atencio, who rattles it back to Valdez, back to Atencio. Atencio still with it, picks up a block. A flag comes in. Are you kidding me? Touchdown, Atencio, but this one may be coming back. Unreal.
And Bo Kalbacher just went straight up to the official, and he's going to get a flag himself. And here's the thing, to the guy over to my left. They call a flag on that, but not with 17 Falcons on the field, including the coaching staff, while the play is going on.
Unbelievable. Unreal. Because it is an offensive penalty, this game is going to end. Rustlers walk back to their sideline. No more time left in this one. Officials are still conferring, but if this is a penalty against the Rustlers, which we assume it is, this ball game is over. Cerritos has already started its celebration. Shane Smith signals that this is in fact a penalty against the Rustlers. Couple of nice laterals, just how you draw it up. And Atencio was able to get that one into the end zone. I don't understand why we're running another play. A half or a game can't end on a defensive penalty. But because it's an offensive penalty, I'm not sure why we're lining back up. This ball game should be over, but the officials are doing Ed Ford's favorite dance right now. 15 up and 15 back. So this will be the final play. 1st and 10 Rustlers at the 43-yard line. Kalbacher throws it up for grabs. And it's actually going to be caught by Mouton at the 11-yard line. But that's it.
Final score this evening, Sioux College 21, Golden West 9.
Cerritos College is your 2018 Southern California Bowl champions as they knock off Golden West 21-9. Ryan Osborn, and just a tough one, tough pill to swallow here for the Rustlers.
Yeah, and I think what will really stick in the mind of the Rustlers here tonight is the fact that, for the most part, a lot of the turnovers and a lot of the mental mistakes that they had are really what cost them this football game this afternoon. Yes, Ramondre Stevenson was terrific, and yes, Bravo was clutch at times. However, it really was Golden West who kind of coughed up the football multiple times in crucial situations, and they just weren't able to kind of get over themselves in this one.
Congratulations to Dean Grossfeld and his Cerritos Falcons winning the 2018 Southern California Bowl. They finished their season 7-4 on the year. The Rustlers fall to 6-5 on the year with the loss as this 2018 season comes to a close. Special thanks to Nick Mitchell as always. Can't say enough about him and what he's done for me in my career. Appreciate him and his coaching staff and their candor with us all season long. My partner Andrew King, who's been on the injured list all season, but was able to come out and play with us for at least a game, has been contributing all season long from home. Ryan Osborn, huge from you this season. Appreciate all your efforts, my man. Ed Ford is our operations manager. Mark Palovich, Ryan Osborn on camera here tonight. Special thanks, of course, to all of you out there listening. All of your tweets, all of your thoughts, concerns, whether it's notes or tidbits. Appreciate all of it. The Callbachers, the Aldapas, the Red Slaps for opening up your tailgate. Much appreciated throughout the course of this 2018 season. As this one comes to a close, Rustlers lose it 21-9 in the Southern California Bowl at Falcon Stadium. So, for all of us here at SportsNetUSA.net, I'm Rahshaun Haylock for the final time in 2018 saying so long. Thank you so much for listening to Rustler Football here on SportsNetUSA.net. You have been watching Golden West Rustler Football right here on your home of the Rustlers, SportsNetUSA.net. Good night from Cerritos.